The legend of Funeral Nick, from Newgrounds to now. Funeral Nick, the name is whispered in internet circles. Legends are told. This ain't your average internet dude. This is a guy who's lived 1,000 lives online. He's a musician, a comedian, a provocateur, a master of the digital world. Funeral Nick rose to fame on Newgrounds. It was the wild west of the internet back then, and he was a digital outlaw. His humor is dark, his music even darker. He's not afraid to push boundaries to make you uncomfortable, but that's what makes him so compelling. He's authentic in a world full of fakes, and now he's back. After years of silence, Funeral Nick is rising from the digital ashes. He's got a new mission, to reclaim his throne as the king of internet weirdness. And he's brought an arsenal of music with him. Free music, big impact, Funeral Nick's Newgrounds legacy. Back in the day, Newgrounds was the place to be for aspiring animators, game developers and musicians. And Funeral Nick, he was a king among peasants. He didn't charge for his music. He didn't need to. His tracks were that good. They were shared, downloaded and remixed. They became the soundtrack to a generation of internet kids. Songs like Charlie One-Niner Blues and Blazing Up the Tracks were instant classics. His music was a mix of genres. You had your chiptune, your industrial, your dark ambient, all held together by Funeral Nick's signature dark humor and lyrical genius. He wasn't just making music, he was creating a world where nothing was sacred and everything was hilarious. Funeral Nick versus Dinosaurus Pimp, a battle for the ages. Funeral Nick versus Dinosaurus Pimp. It's not just an album title, it's a statement, a declaration of war. On one side you have Funeral Nick, the cynical, the sardonic, the voice of a generation raised on the internet. On the other side, Dinosaurus Pimp, a symbol of excess, of bravado, of everything Funeral Nick loves to hate. The album title is a metaphor, man. It's the battle between our better angels and our base desires. It's the struggle between who we are and who we pretend to be online. It's a battle that rages within all of us. And in this album, Funeral Nick is our guide through this digital jungle. Section 4, Resurrection Tracks. Key songs for Funeral Nick's comeback album. This ain't just a greatest hits album, it's a resurrection. A chance for Funeral Nick to rewrite his story. The album kicks off with Resurrection, a hard-hitting track that announces his return. Then you got Newgrounds Nostalgia, a love letter to his roots, a reminder of where he came from and where he's going. Korean Rhapsody takes us back to his time in Korea. The track is haunting, beautiful, and a little bit unsettling, just like Funeral Nick himself. Banned from Twitch, again, is classic Nick, satirical, self-aware and hilarious. And then there's the ballad of Funeral Nick, a somber reflection on his career, his controversies and his place in the digital world. It's a reminder that behind the jokes there's a real person. A person with a story to tell. Section 5. Rise from the digital grave, Funeral Nick's return to YouTube. The internet's changed a lot since Funeral Nick's Newgrounds days. But one thing remains the same. People crave authenticity. And that's what Funeral Nick delivers in spades. His return to YouTube is a breath of fresh air in a world of polished influences and manufactured drama. He's not afraid to be himself, warts and all, and people are responding. His videos are getting millions of views. His comment section is a war zone of love and hate, just the way he likes it. Funeral Nick is back, baby. Section 6. From Korea to Comeback, connecting the dots in Funeral Nick's story. There's a method to the madness, a reason why Funeral Nick disappeared, why he's back now. It all ties back to his time in Korea. The documentary about his life there is more than just a travelogue, it's a journey of self-discovery, a chance for Funeral Nick to confront his demons and come out stronger on the other side. The album, the YouTube channel, the documentary, it's all connected, it's all part of the Funeral Nick story. A story about second chances, about embracing the weirdness, and about never giving up on your dreams, even when those dreams are as strange and wonderful as Funeral Nick himself.